Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, and today we're going to be taking an in-close look at my custom Lego store here in the city. So let's get started. Alright, so this is my Lego store right here, the white building on the left. This building that you see on the right here is a other building that is custom that is still a work in progress. So I'm just going to take the Lego store off of this main base plate here and put it on a half base plate just so it's by itself, so you guys can get to see the Lego store and only the Lego store instead of whatever the heck this is. So we're going to take this off. We're going to put this on a different base plate, and I will give you guys an in-depth review of all of its features. All right, so I have the Lego store on its own half base plate now, and I'm going to spin it around really quick for you guys while I just give a little bit of an overview, and then we could take the floors off and take a look inside each of them here. And so basically, this Lego store is 100% custom. I designed this on my own. The footprint of it is 16 studs wide by 18 studs deep on this side right here. And then this is the side wall. This is going to go up against other buildings eventually, so that's why there's a little bit of ugly colors showing through, and also there's no Technic pins here because this would, under normal circumstances, be on a full base plate here. And then here is the back. I quite like the look of this. I'm really a big fan of these windows, but we will take a closer look at those in just a moment here. There is a back door, and then as you guys can see, the Technic pins are on this side because this is supposed to be on the left side of a full base plate. And so as you guys can see, it's not the full height over here. It is only 2 stories tall. I didn't think it needed a third, so I thought this was plenty, and I actually quite like the size of it. I think it's a good scale for the city, and so now we can start taking a look at the exterior of it. So let me get this guy out of the way for you. But basically, these windows here are just the 1x2x3 window frames and then the glass inside of it. And then I put these garage door bricks with the grooves in them underneath the window, and I also put some planters and some flowers. I think that helps add a lot of color to it as well, because for the most part it's just white and dark or light bluish gray with a hint of dark tan in there. And then I also added the shield tiles on the bottom just to give it a little bit of something different. That was actually the original inspiration for the build, was to use the shield tiles like this. So I'm really happy I ended up going with that, because this is a really good look, I think. And I also did continue the light gray strip of color along the sides and the back as well, like you saw. And I used the masonry bricks in here in white, and there's a nice section of glass above the door as well, which is really nice to see. And then above it, same style of windows. It's the same thing, but instead of a front door, this has a little balcony, which we will also take a look at. And then the Lego store logo here. This is an older print. I don't know exactly where it's from, but this is a really nice print to have. I do have the newer Lego store promo, which was actually pretty much all those pieces went into this in a relatively recent video. So I will put that in the top right corner if you guys haven't seen that yet. I highly recommend you check that out. But I do have that stickered piece that could go here instead. But I like this print. I think it looks good. And then the roof up here is new. I did redesign this just for the video because I was really not happy with the old version of it. And so pretty much what I did was I just added a shield tile on the top, and then what I did for this up here was I used these white fence elements here, which are pretty commonly seen on the pick-a-brick wall actually. So if you're trying to find them, that is probably your best bet. And then I just put 2x2 plates on the underside, and I actually think that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that, and so I'm going to leave it like that. And then obviously, like I showed you, the sides are pretty plain, but if we go to the back, the windows are a little bit more plain. It's pretty much the same thing with the planters and the 1x2x3 frames, but there is no groove bricks underneath them. And then the back door just has a little ventilation above it, and then the slightest awning above it. But that's pretty much it for the back here. I did used to have a vine going up the back, but I had to get rid of that for the details on the inside, which I will show you right now. So for the first floor of the Lego store, it is what you guys would expect it to be. It is a Lego store. And so let me take this guy out because he is not connected with any studs. So let me get you guys a little bit of a more aerial view into this building here. And so as you guys can see, the front door is now on the right, and the perimeter of the floor is outlined in yellow with a couple stripes going down the middle, and then the rest of it is just light bluish gray. I'm pretty happy with that. It does look a little bit boring, and there's not a whole lot of studs in here, but I think it looks good, and I'm quite happy with this actually, because if you take a look in, I mean, it's pretty dark in there when the roof is on, so you can't see much, but it does look a lot better than just having the open base plate. So I'm happy with that. And on this wall here on the right, when you walk in, you'll see a whole lot of city sets and also Ninjago and Duplo as well. And so these stickers are from the old Lego truck, which actually was this exact set on the bottom left here. And then all of these are from that newer Lego store set. And then in the back here, we're just going to kind of make our way around. This is the cash register here with another employee over here. And then this is the pick-a-brick wall over here. This is what the vine on the back, this is where it used to be, but I had to get rid of that in order to make the space for this so I could put the snot bricks facing on the inside. And I'm much happier with this than I was with the vine on the outside. This looks really, really good to me. There is 9 studs per row, and there is 5 rows. So there's 45 individual studs and 45 individual clear round tiles on each of them. So let me get the guy out of the way here, and also this cash register. And so I'm extremely happy with that. I think it looks great. And I tried to randomize the colors too, so they're kind of spread out. And I'm really happy with this. And let me know what you guys think of this. Does it look like your pick-a-brick wall, or does it look a little bit bigger? I think this actually looks bigger than the pick-a-brick wall at my semi-local Lego store. So this seems like an upgrade to me. But that is the back door right over here. So there's not like a back office area or like a back stock area for the employees, unfortunately, but I could expand the rest of the base plate to do that, but I don't think I'm going to do that in the near future. I think this is more than sufficient. And then over here is the build a minifig station with the micro fig on the inside, and then the base of it over here has a city set on one side and a creator set on the other, and that just sticks into this jumper plate on the floor. And then on this wall over here is some Technic sets, some Ideas sets, Creator sets, and then a few more Friend sets over here. I'm really happy with how this looks. I think this looks great. And so that is pretty much it for that first floor here. And now it's probably a better time to show you this front window here, because there's a lot more light going through it. But I'm happy with this. I think it looks really, really good. And so now we can add the second floor on, and I will show you guys what's inside that. All right, so adding the second floor is pretty easy. As you guys can see, there's no studs on the top of these tiles here. So just place that on like so, and gravity just keeps it in there. And also a few random plates scattered around the edges just to keep it locked into place so it doesn't move. And that's pretty much it. So now we can take a look on the inside of this floor here. I'm just going to keep it off of the building just for sake of convenience for you guys. But as you guys can see, there is no ladder or staircase to get up to this, unfortunately. That is one thing I would like to add. But as it is right now, I'm happy with how this looks and happy with the space that I allocated to it. And so as you guys can see, it's kind of like a studio apartment here. And so there's a little kitchen on this one side here with a fridge on the right, and then a sink, some cabinets, and a stove. And this guy seemed to have left the stove on, actually, so that's not good. But on the other side here is a bed. This bed is a really old design. I made this when I was a kid, probably like 10 years ago, 12 years ago maybe. So it's been in my collection for a while, and it's been through different buildings and different rooms and stuff like that. But it gets the job done, and I don't open these buildings super often anyway, so it doesn't bother me that it's not the best design that it could be. But as you guys can see, this guy who lives here is also a big Lego fan. He has the Disney Castle on his dresser here, as well as a Friend set that's unopened, and also a City set that is also unopened. And then the Disney Castle, like I said, is sitting on his dresser. And that is pretty much it for this room here. Again, there's a lot more light coming through these windows now, but this is the balcony, the balcony door here. And then someone can stand out here. There is not enough space to have studs in there, but you could put a figure. Let me see if I can get this in one take on camera here. You can just stand someone on the door frame itself, and it seems to work fine. It works pretty pretty good, if I do say so myself. But if you knock the building over, it's... Oh, actually, he's stuck in there. But normally he would just fall over like that. And so that is why having studs is important, but it's not super necessary in this case. I think it gets the job done and it makes it look a lot nicer. This technique was actually inspired by the Parisian restaurant. There is a balcony on that set as well. So, and it is actually this exact size, I believe. And so there's no studs on that one. So that was where I got the inspiration for that from. I made this building probably about 2 years ago at this point, a year and a half or 2 years ago. And I'm still pretty happy with it. This whole section that you're seeing right now, I'm extremely happy with. And I've been happy with it since I built it. And I'm pretty proud of it too. I think it looks really good. And it looks good from most angles. The only exception being that red block right there for the cabinets on the inside of the kitchen here. But I don't mind that because eventually another building will cover that side. And so now we can talk about the roof and we can check it out in the city and compare it to some other buildings. All right, so this roof here, like I had mentioned earlier in the video, I was recently redone. I was really not happy with that original design. And so I pretty much started from scratch, and the footprint of it is the same, the 16 by 18 right here. And then, like I had shown you earlier, it is just these fence pieces stuck onto the plates through the holes in the lattice part of the fence, and then you just stick the 2x2 plates on the underside, and that actually works out really, really good. And so I'm happy with this. I like the shield tiles kind of being mirrored up top here, and also the cheese slopes behind it. I think that looks really good, and kind of giving this a little spin around. You guys can see that the rest of the roof is pretty plain. It didn't need a whole lot to me, to be honest with you. It's just a row of light gray plate, and then light gray tile on top, and then a brick, and then a 2x2 plate, and then the snot brick for the shield tile on the front. And that is pretty much it for this building here. And so let me bring over one building actually, just to kind of show you guys a little sense of scale, and then we can place this back in the city and see how it all looks. All right, so here is my custom Lego store next to the building that I had originally planned for it to be next to, which is the Sanctum Sanctorum. And this building is a little bit of a strange one because it has an alleyway, and it also has this billboard on the third level here. And so that's why I ended up making this 2 floors, is so that if I rotate this around and show you guys really quick, you can see that this building is tall enough to be its own standalone structure, but also short enough so that you can see this billboard from far away, because I really like how that looks, and I wanted to be able to see that in the city. And so at the time, this was the perfect solution for it. Now, obviously, my Lego city has changed since then, and so these 2 buildings are no longer going to be next to each other in the city, but I do still really like how they look. This Sanctum Sanctorum here has a lot of color on it with the medium nougat and the sand green and all of that, and the tan windows and all that, whereas this is pretty muted. It does share the light gray, but it also has the white. And so I think these 2 look really good next to each other. And so overall, I'm extremely happy with this. And I do like the alleyway on this as well. And I like how good this side looks next in the alleyway here. And I did add a couple pieces to the sanctum and make this kind of vine growing up the top here and stuff like that. And so overall, this is a really good building. And this is probably my favorite custom building that I've made. And if this is your favorite that I've made, also comment down below and make sure to like this video. But for now, let's go place this back into the city, and I will show you guys its current home as well as my future plans for what's going to go next to it. All right, so I have these buildings placed back in, including the sanctum over there. And like I said, the Lego store used to be over there, but since I've moved this road over 16 studs, it no longer has the space to be over there. And also, I took the time, since at the beginning of the video, the Lego store and this building here were on the same base plate, and then I moved it to the half base plate for the review. I decided to put the Lego store on its own base plate because I actually got a comment the other day on when I moved the modular buildings here. I talked about how I was not sure about what to do with this area here. I wanted to put the Tudor corner here, the 2025 modular, and then maybe have a couple other buildings here. And someone actually commented saying that I should make a half base plate building in that similar style to this corner modular here, the Tudor corner. Obviously, it's not here yet. It's not 2025, but eventually that will become part of the city here. So definitely stay tuned for that so you don't miss out when that happens. But I think putting a half base plate building here in that same architecture or style is a fantastic idea. So thank you to whoever suggested that. I will definitely be doing that. Probably going to wait until that building arrives in the studio here, just so I can have it as a point of reference and then build this custom one next to it, just so they line up and just so everything looks right. I don't want to rush into it and then have to redo it in a few weeks because it's already halfway through December at this point, and so might as well just wait the extra 2-3 weeks and then I can build that. But definitely stay tuned for that. But back to the point of the video, which is the Lego store. I'm super happy with this building overall, and I think it looks great. And so on that note, that is going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked what I did, make sure to like the video and subscribe, as well as click the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. If you guys have any feedback for me on this Lego store or any other buildings that you want to see added to the city, make sure to drop a comment down below. But once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.